There's a quest chain for beating all the society quests in Stormblood, and I'm gonna do them. So yeah, here we go. Mistress San, Hancock sent me to look for you. I'm glad to have found you close by. He said he needs to meet with you, but wasn't clear on the details. I suppose he'd rather explain it to you in person. Would you mind taking a moment to speak with him? He's over at the harbor. Thank you. Just make your way to Pier 2, if you please. I'll let Hancock know he can find me there. It's all hard to get. The Sesengumi Barracks, an unassuming face leading to the second Gumi Barracks, the headquarters of Kogani's peacekeeping force. Off-duty second Gumi members are often seen relaxing at the nearby tea house. And if you tilt your nose head up, you can take in the unshamely grandiose main gates of Kogani Castle. Yo, my friend. Good to see you again. Thank you for coming to meet me, though I confess that I knew you would. You are such an agreeable sort, always ready to help your friends and close acquaintances. There's no need for such facial exertion. My request is a straightforward one. As it happens, I've been asked to escort a few members of the Alamegan Resistance on a tour of Kogane. It seems they are interested in seeing the fortifications that have allowed Hinegashi to survive as an ice, uh, isolationist nation for so long. I've never met them, and it occurs to me that the presence of someone such as yourself, who has an established rapport with the Resistance, might smoothen our introduction. What say you? If I just have to stand there, fine. Good to hear, particularly as they'll be here any moment. By my estimation, they should be disembarking just about now. Ah, and right I am. Esteemed members of the Resistance, welcome to Kugane. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Hancock of the East Aldernard Trading Company, and I will be your guide to this fair city. I appreciate your coming to meet us, but Alpa, captain of the Veldona. I'm Alpa, captain of the Veldona Gatekeepers. And I'm Joe Lemon, Alpa's second in command. Pleasure to meet you. Is that you, yo? Fancy meeting you here of all places. What a pleasant surprise. Are you here to show us around? Now that is an excellent proposal, Miss Alpa. I'm certain those two of you would feel more at ease seeing the city with someone you know. Don't you agree, yo? In that case, I shall leave the role of the guide to you. Meanwhile, I can secure accommodations for our guests. I get the feeling that you didn't have much choice there. Sorry about all this. If it's alright, I'd like to visit the castle first. I'm eager to see its fortifications. Oh, I'm already at Kogani Castle. That was quick. Impressive, visually speaking, anyhow. It is beautiful. It does look nice, but I can't imagine it's much use as a fortress. Too decorative. What unusual attire. I can see you are not native to Kugane. May I ask where you hail from? By the kami, that tale is real. Are you a mermaid? Don't be absurd. I'm no mermaid. I'm an Anada. There are many like Alpa and Alamigo or Homan. There's no need to be alarmed. Ah, so you're of the Western race, then. Pardon me. I jump to conclusions. It can be somewhat dull guarding the gate here, particularly as another fool would try to break in. So I sometimes let my imagination get the best of me. It's alright, no offense taken, but if you have a moment, would you mind telling us more about this castle? I'm curious as to how a single guard at the gate is sufficient to keep it secure. Of course, I'm no expert, but I will gladly teach you what I know. Consider it an apology for my rudeness. The central keep that towers above us is a complex and strategic make, incorporating myriad defensive elements. As you can see, the most prominent part of the facade features regular openings from which to unleash a veritable hail of arrows or musket rounds. We call these sama, and they make it nigh on impossible for an enemy to approach from the front. Similarly, those unlucky souls who attempt to scale the walls are likely to be met by tumbling boulders or boiling oil released by those manning the many ticks. Should one somehow manage to infiltrate the castle proper, he will find it a trial to get out again, for the pathways inside are like a maze by design. To think something could be so elegant in both form and function, I'm impressed. All that said, the castle has been taken before. Not too long ago, an unscrupulous sort named Kageyama and his underlings managed to sneak in during one of Bigio's galas, taking advantage of the stream of people entering the castle. Which mainly goes to show that all of the clever defenses in the world mean nothing if you fail to check who's coming through the front door. A most instructive tale. Thank you. I had a feeling that I would find you here. Your accommodations are ready. Since your journey was a long one, I recommend you stop for a soak in Kagane's famed hot springs before you continue your sightseeing. I can personally vouch for their efficacy in soothing body and soul. In that case, how could we refuse? That's settled then. Just make your way to the Bakro Inn at your leisure. I must return to the Ruby Bazaar, but I've ensured that you will find everything in order. My first hang in hot springs. I hope you will join us, yo. She really is like a fairy tale mermaid come to life. The other bathers are in for a surprise. This inn is spectacular. I've never seen anything like it, and to think that we can just go right in. I wish I could show it to Gales, though it might be safer not to. Anyway, Jololyn went inside to change ages ago, but it doesn't seem like she's coming out any time soon. She does wear an awful lot of armor. Why don't we have a look around while we wait for her? There's no harm in that, right? I've never been here. Seeing it has only made me want to get in more. Jocelyn won't mind if we meet her in the water, right? Right? So let's go. Unless you need some time to change into your bathing suit as well. I hear it's customary to wear one, at least in Kugane. I don't have a bathing suit. This feels wonderful. I'm so glad we came to Higashi. It's nice to properly relax once in a while. Look there. Is that a mermaid? That tail, those scales. I'm mistakenly a mermaid. I can't believe that they've been real this whole time. And right here in our hot springs. This is ridiculous. I'm clearly no fish. Huh. I suppose people who've never seen Inanada just don't know what else to make of you. Well, I never. Mermaids in the bath. Wait. Did somebody say mermaid? He's still a thing? I haven't done the Heaven Sword one yet, so... But they let me do it, so... What's this? A Seeker? And one with most unfortunate features at that. Not as unfortunate as your manners, and I would say something about the creepy mask, but I reckon the face is beneath is even worse. Now, am I meant to believe you don't recognize me, Naza Jab? You certainly have the look of an Orasian, but perhaps my legacy has not yet reached whatever drab little corner of the realm you call home. Yes, on closer inspection, I can see that our Far Eastern friends simply mistook serpent for fish. Not that it matters for my purposes, of course. I can hardly believe that I came upon a convincing substitute so soon. That's enough of your leering. What are you doing? Get your hands off me. Alpha. I swear, you masked maniac, if you done something to Alpha. It's funny, I thought only to make a bit of coin on my travels through this foreign land, but it seems the Beastmen and I are simply meant to be. In any case, I'll be helping myself to this one. I welcome a challenge, so feel free to hunt me down, if you can. Let's take that Naza. And what is he anyway? I can't believe he managed to snatch Alpha right out from under us. No, now's not the time. Our first priority needs to be tracking them down. Thankfully, with the locals' reactions so far are anything to go by, I'm sure they stood out. We can start by asking around. Did you see Makode pass through? It's important. Hey, Makode, ma'am. I'm afraid I don't quite know what you mean. Oh, right. I'm talking about someone with ears like mine. Male, a bit odd in the facial area. He might have been behaving strangely, too. Does that ring a bell? Ah, so you folks are called Makode. I've seen quite a few of you around Kogane of late, and there was a man fitting that description over by the short pier when I passed by not too long ago. I guess we're headed seaside then. Thanks for your help. Makode, what a charming name for people, and they do have the nicest ears. Okay. This is not what I was expecting in a variety of ways. Now that we found him, I suppose we ought to make sure he doesn't die. We're gonna need him to wake up first, though. I don't know. Maybe poke him in the face. And you're sure he's not already dead? In that case, we'll have to get creative. And I have just the thing. Well, he does anyhow. Just as I thought. He never leaves home without Mark's XL2 grenades. I assume he took them. time to remove some of the powder of his prior experiences, so they should be safe enough. Lob one in his general direction, would you? I'll stand back a bit, just in case. Ah! I believe I am last truly grasped the meaning of the phrase a rude awakening, which is to say, ow. Make no mistake, I'm delighted to see you, yo. But I would appreciate it if you would put a little more thought into your method of greeting next time. I was having such a nice dream, too. I can't say I expected that large of an explosion. I thought for sure you'd remember to take the powder out this time. By the way, why are you here anyway? Yeah, gentlemen, your attire is rather less present than usual. Ah, now that you mention it, I did forget to put my uniform back on, didn't I? More importantly, though, we have a serious problem on our hands. Mazette, are you listening to me? Yes, I'm listening and definitely making a normal amount of eye contact. But never mind that. Alpa's been kidnapped. I saw her being carried away by a man with the most peculiar mask. You saw him? Oh, they know what they're doing. Ah, yes. Yes, as it happens, I stowed away on your ship to get here. And that went perfectly smoothly, thank you very much, until you two disembarked and ran off, leaving me without a clue where to go. As I was wandering about aimlessly, as one does, I saw the masked man with Alpa in tow. I called out to them, and he hit me, without so much as a warning. Before I fully lost consciousness, however, I witnessed something vital. He and Alpa boarding a small boat. I'm positive they were headed out to sea. There's not a moment to waste. We'll board the ship at once. You too, Mazette. Of course, I would never abandon Alpa in her time of need. In fact, I shall begin scanning the seas in search of any passing vessel that can carry us away right this moment. Feel free to, put a coat on while I do. Just complimented her like a normal person. It's my first time seeing her wear anything but armor. What do you want from me? Just wait till I get my hands on that NASA job. At least we have some idea where he's heading with Alpha, thanks to Mazette. I've decided to reward him not by pushing him into the sea, even though he's making it so very tempting. More importantly, where do you reckon we should start our search? They likely passed by the Ruby Price. Well, what are we waiting for? Jocelyn, where are you going? Finding Alpha is my first priority. What can't you tell? Okay. As you can tell, I took a little bit of a break there. Let's continue. Right. Now that we're here, let's split up and ask anyone whether anyone has seen a masked Mikote and a mermaid about. An excellent plan. It's nice to have everything back to normal. This has better not be about my attire again. If you hadn't noticed, Alpa has been kidnapped by a masked maniac. So go find eyewitnesses before I change my mind about drowning you. I never did get to tell her that her swimsuit was fetching, but at least I managed not to make a fool of myself. A man wearing a sinister mask. He certainly hasn't passed through here. I would know. I've been looking for suspicious persons to fire at all day. A suspicious man with a mermaid. Ha, very funny. You Westerners and your jokes. I love the dash. Any luck? You too, huh? It seems we've hit a dead end here. I haven't the slightest idea what to do now, though. Ah! What has he gotten himself into this time? Come on, yo. What is the meaning of this? First you burst out of the water like some sort of sea monster, and now you threaten me with a blade. I don't even know who you are or what you are. You know not what you stole from me, but you shall come to regret it. Tsukumo is more precious than any treasure. Return him at once. Help me, yo. I'm being beset by this turtle man. Turtle man. Yo, what an odd coincidence. Or not a coincidence at all, since you two seem to know each other. In which case, you have my apologies. I should not have drawn my blade without preamble. Think nothing of it. As future leader of the M tribe, I was not at all alarmed by your sudden, menacing advance. Not in the least. I'm Mizet Tia, by the way. Any friend of yours is a friend of mine. I am honored to meet you. My name is Kabuto, and I lead the Blue Divine Circle. The name's Jocelyn. I am with the Veldenia Gatekeepers in Alamigo. Can I ask why you were on the point of skewering Mizet? In my haste, I unfortunately mistook him for a thief who recently snatched Tsukumo from my helmet. What precisely is this Tsukumo? You seem rather keen on getting it back. Tsukumo is my dearest companion and guide who once walked beside me as a Kakuri puppet blessed with a soul. He is now present only as materia, but continues to watch over me. Wait, wasn't Niza holding something that looked awful lot like materia when we saw him in the hot springs? Could that have been Tsukumo? If so, it would mean that he robbed Kabuto before kidnapping Alpha, and that we almost certainly won't find him on the Ruby Sea. But why not? If it were me, I wouldn't want to risk my prize being retaken by its rightful owner, and fending Kabuto off would be a slight more difficult with Alpha in tow. I put money on Niasa's having made for land as quickly as possible. A reasonable conclusion, assuming he was headed to Othorg. The most direct route would have taken him through the village of Izari. To Izari we go, then. We'll follow your lead, Kabuto. I must retrieve Tsukumo at all costs. How best to explain the situation? Perhaps I should start with Alpha. So Alpha is an Anita. Wait, so Anita is the sort of person like a mermaid, but not really. What a charming little fishing village. Would that we were here for some relaxing sightseeing. But we have a villain to catch and a captive to save, so let's get to it. Meet me back here once you've gathered as much information as you can. Unintentional. God damn it. A masked man carrying a mermaid. Frankly, I'm not even sure I could imagine such a sight, and I certainly haven't witnessed it. I did see a man with a curious mask, though. He made a landfall in a small boat, and I assume departed on foot soon thereafter, as I haven't seen him once since. I'd wager that he made for the Azim steppe of Yangxia, like most who won't pass through here. I haven't seen your mystery, man, but I can tell you that mermaids have been a subject of some discussion around here as of late. You see, local legend has it that somewhere out there, far from the sight and grasp of the ordinary man, or what we call Hingen, or what we Hingans call the Three Wonders, mermaids' flesh being one. It is said to grant life eternal, be that for better or for worse. A few moons past, a young lady born to one of Kagane's oldest and wealthiest families proclaimed that Should any gentleman presume to ask for her hand in marriage, she would accept nothing less than all three wonders as a dowry. It is a fool's errand, certain enough. We Higgins love our fairy stories as well as any folk, but we know the three wonders are no more than fantasy. You have to admire her clever ploy to remain unwed, though, which is why it's the talk of the land. I see. It's all coming together. A suspicious man and a mermaid with him? No, there ain't any suspicious sorts coming around our little village, and you'll pardon me for saying so, but it doesn't seem likely that a mermaid would keep such company. Unless, oh, okay. Now that we're back, let's share what we've learned. Hopefully between the four of us we'll have heard enough to go on. So though Naza was indeed sighted, no one can confirm which direction he departed in. And if your source is correct, Alpha is no longer with him. Did he stash her somewhere before landing in Azari? And where is he now? The three wonders may provide a clue. According to folklore, the treasures are merflesh, the jewel of fair souls, and the philosopher's fen. I shudder to think of the young ladies being forced to marry Nazal of all people. But based on his thefts so far, it doesn't seem like he is collecting the wonders, or treasures with passing similarity to them at least. Indeed, if Sukumo is his substitute for the jewel of fair souls, and your Alpha is meant to be the source of merfish, that leaves only one. Flesh certainly implies a level of dismemberment that I'm not comfortable with. We have to stop them. Yes, I realize that. If you have any brilliant ideas as to how, now's the time. We can't afford him to stay one step ahead of us. Wait for us, Alpha. I will chase Tsukumo's captor to the ends of Heidelin if I must. We can say with some certainty that Nasta has made for either Yaxia or Azim's step, where he can only be up to no good. But it is also likely that Alpha has been imprisoned somewhere between here and Kogane, so which should we seek? I would be happy to ask the other members of the Divine Circle to search for your friend. There were no finer seekers of treasure on the Ruby Sea, and would free us to continue tailing the thief. While I would prefer to see the Alpha safety myself, I can't deny that I'm at a distinct advantage in these lands. It probably would be better to leave the search to those more familiar with the area, while we pursue Naza. He's after the, what was it now? Philosopher's Fin, correct? If our assumptions are right, that's the only one left. And we know he's not too particular as to where he lays hands on the real thing. Yo, do you have any idea what could pass for the Philosopher's Fin at a glance? Fin from Gyoke seems the easy to kidnap sort. A Namazu who speaks, and artificially at that. Yes, he does sound like a prime candidate. What you say is true, but one could easily call of the Namazu who have mastered the common tongue Fin philosophers. We cannot count on our villain to be so selective, nor do we know if he makes for Yuzu Manor or rather Doro Dolor Lore. Well, if potential Finn philosophers can be found in either location, I suppose we'll have to split up and cover both. I'll take Yuza Manor. Miss that come with me, if only so that I can keep him from accidentally injuring anyone, himself included. Anyway, I'm sure the locals will be able to point us in the right direction. Then we will hasten to Doro Laurel. I only hope that we arrive in time. I had heard word of the festivities taking place here, but I wasn't aware they would be so extraordinary. By the big one, our comrade and Finns. You are here to assist with our new project, yes, yes? Our latest, greatest event? I interpret that as I have the foggiest idea of what you speak, so allow me to explain thoroughly. We are currently planning our most ambitious event to date, an exceedingly cultured performance based on the beloved carol of El Great Kings of Orient. We have spread word of our upcoming masterpiece far and wide, from Kagane to Yangtze, so doubtless a great many will be in attendance. By the by, sir. Excuse me. It is rare to see one such as yourself here on the Asm Steppe. Am I correct in assuming that you are an ambassador of the Kojin tribe? And how might I address you? My name is Kabuto, and I am indeed a Kojin of the Blue, and the leader of the Divine Circle. We typically pursue treasure, but our quarry today is a villain whom we suspect is searching for the Philosopher's Fin. We have traveled here to stop him before anyone comes to harm. Oh, are you perchance speaking of the Philosopher's Fin as detailed in new records of the ancient matters? One of the three wonders? Fascinating, but why seek it on Asm Steppe? I am quite certain the records make no mention of location. Ah, so naturally having spoken to Yo, you concluded that I would most readily be identified as the source of requisite Fin, esteemed as I am. Indeed, there could hardly be a more obvious choice for Fin philosopher. Wait, I seem to recall from our many discussions that the philosopher will not be played by you, Gofu. Sengetsu the Enlightened. We decided on Giori for that role, remember? And we already made the costume to fit her. The role of philosopher. Perhaps we should hear more of this new event of yours. Oh, very well. In our upcoming performance, we reenact the journey to the west made by 3 nights and days of yore. Giori has been chosen to dress as the Philosopher King. One would think that the Namazu best suited for said role would be I, Sugetsu the Enlightened, most erudite and learned among us, renowned author of a meditation on the metaphysics of merrymaking, but Gyoshin continually insists. That's it? Naza must have heard about the performance and learned that it would include a philosopher. That is why he made for Azim's step. If he knows that selected, she has been selected for the role of Philosopher King, Giori will be in grave danger. Where is she now? If I recall correctly, she spoke of traveling to the Dawn Throne to retrieve ritual offerings from the Nori stock. We've been running low, as someone keeps partaking without authorization. Then we must make for the Dawn Throne at once, with me. I was not really following that, no, but I am most confident that Giori's fins should remain attached to Giori. She needs those. It's all well and good for Gyoshin to sprint off to big one knows where, but it is hardly advisable for me to leave the festivities unsupervised. I will remain here and inform Giori of the situation should she return. Goodness, how kind of the Henri to share so much food with us. It will take more than a few Namazu to eat through all of this, thankfully. Oh, hello. Can I help you with something? Yes. I'm supposed to believe that's the face of a philosopher, but I suppose a fin's a fin, and the client won't know any better, so in you go. What is the meaning of this? Let me out. Oh no. Stop. He really was after Gary's fins, and now he has both of them. Does this wickedness know no bounds? He put her in a barrel. The horror, the indignity. What do we do? We should speak with our comrades at Huzuka Manor. They need to hear this, and may have an idea where Naza would take his ill-gotten treasures. Can you contact them, yo? Nothing to report here. Have you had any luck? He's kidnapped a Namazu and Giori. That's not good. He's got all three of the wonders in hand then. But if we are to assume that his sudden quest for the three wonders and the young lady's wedding dowry are connected, there's a good chance that he will visit Kokani at some point. Whether to present the items to her or to her would-be suitor. You would have to retrieve Alpha beforehand, of course, meaning that we finally have a chance to get ahead of him. We can return to Kagane first and be ready to snare him when he arrives. Let's rendezvous in Kugani at, say, the Bokuro Inn. I'll see you there. What did Jalim suggest? Lay a trap in Kugane. It couldn't work, but we will need to return post-haste. We should tell Gyelf Sugetsu the Enlightened first. I am sure he will have many, many thoughts on the situation, maybe even a helpful one. Very well, we will speak with him before we depart. He is doubtless worried about Giori, and it would be unkind to leave him wondering. Let us inform Sugetsu the Enlightened and be on our way. I will find Sugetsu the Enlightened and be right back. Yoshin has apprised me of all the ill news, and you intend to apprehend the culprit in Kugane? Yes, if we travel fast enough, we should succeed in reaching the city before Naza Jab does. I always have my travel hammer, travel spinning wheel, and travel anvil packed just in case. I am most prepared, ready to go. Yes, yes. The sack will be a tight squeeze with both of us, but if you put Sugetsu in head first and me tail first. Stop right there, Gyoshin. Exactly what an artist and a member of the literati meant to do against an opponent who has foiled even Yo. For us to blunder in without a stratagem would be the height of folly. No, these two ought to journey ahead to Kagane, lest Nizaza arrive sooner than expected. Meanwhile, I shall devise an infallible plan based on the principles laid forth in the Smart War. We shall join them anon. I do not know what those principles are, not even a little bit, no. But I will do as you say if you think that it will help get Giori back. What could he be plotting? It might serve us to have a clearer idea of Shigetsu the Enlightened's plan. Yep. But we can wait no longer to depart. Come, we should hasten to Bakuro Inn. The others should have arrived before we did. I assume they have occupied themselves by gathering information throughout the city in the meantime. You two made good time. We left for Kagane just after I spoke with you. and only arrived a short while ago ourselves. Have you been able to learn anything of Naza? We were successful in returning Kugane ahead of him, though not by much. He's already made port. We saw docker workers hauling off a large barrel and a swimming sack from his skiff. Under his close watch, unfortunately, so whatever his plans are, they're likely already in motion. The prisoners, where has he sent them? There's a large vessel docked at Pier 1. It seems Alpa and Giori have been taken aboard. I have kept keeping an eye on the situation. I saw that ship when we arrived. It's unmistakably the Coroboro Moro, if I recall correctly, the merchant Kageyama purchased it for a hefty sum some time ago. Kageyama, you say, and who might that be? A man easily as vile as Nazzle-Jab himself. He once conspired to take Kugane Castle, holding the Buyeo hostage as a mate. He made ludicrous demands. Though thwarted, he used his wealth and influence to escape justice. He has taken to using this tactic recently, and it is said in pursuit of a bride, spending more gil than most will ever see in his attempt to snare the perfect woman. A bride, huh? Well, I think we found Nazzle-Jab's esteemed employer. Hello, yo. It is I. You know, your favorite Makot, dashing good looks, ladies' man, future none of the M tribe. Yes, well, I'm afraid that we have a problem. One that requires your immediate attention. That's why I contacted you. Spider will let you hear this as soon as possible. I've been dutifully keeping watch by the Cabro Maro and Alpa and the Namazu have just been brought out on deck. We don't have much longer until our mermaid becomes mermaid flesh. I would love to continue this little chat rapping, but I rather think you should come to the harbor right away. Was that Mizette? This is our last chance then. We must stop Naza once and for all. Alan seems tricky. I'm not gonna get that one. Shit. There you are. We must hurry. Alpha is a dear friend, and we don't have her, and I won't have her turned into mincemeat by some scheming and rather unattractive, I must say, villain. Mer flesh. The philosopher's fin. and the jewel of fair souls. With this, she can no longer deny me, and what a pretty thing she will be, beside me at our matrimonial feast. I can taste it now. Ugh. I couldn't possibly care less about what you intend to do with the goods, so long as I am fairly compensated. And speaking of payment, I think it's time that we finish up here. I need only carve the meat. Yeah. Not a chance. Finally caught up, have you? Though I doubt you have much to offer this time around. Gentlemen. That was dirty. What, afraid you couldn't defeat her in a fair fight? I merely prefer to spend my time on foes that are actually worthy, or at least suitably entertaining. But if any of you believe you will present a greater challenge, then by all means. Very well, I will defeat you myself and have you return Tsukumo here and now. I see them. They are most visible. Ramming speed. Yes, yes. Amazing. Truly, I did not expect this. That whistle, it's a Sekigumi. Pity, I was just beginning to feel a twinkle of excitement, but I see I must take my leave. Does he do this every time, like in Heaven's Word too? Aha, farewell, Eastern Beastmen. This little chase has been most amusing. Perhaps you may entertain me again someday. Not this time, as a future nun and a friend to Jalaman and Alpha both. I cannot let these crimes go unanswered. Trust me, sometimes you have to learn the hard way, how to treat a lady. Seven health. Oh, now we find one with no powder. Still. As if explosives would save the adventurer's gaggle of misfits yet again. was never seen from again. Maybe. He's probably not going to be in Shadowbringers, I know that much. Now we only need ensure that Kageyama meets with justice at the hands of the second Gumi. That may pose a problem. Where has that eel slipped off to? He makes for Kogandori. Yo, with me. We can meet at Bakuro Inn afterwards. I will carry the wounded there. We're counting on you. You need not push yourself, Alpha. You only just been freed from what must have been a very trying ordeal. I'll be fine. As captain of the Valdelia gatekeepers, I can't let evil go unpunished. There. What? How did you? Well, no matter. You may have followed me this far, but no further. Paupers of Kagane, behold my loose chain. Oh, free money. Yeah, money. Pardon me, sir, but if you could move a bit to the left. Ma'am, it is imperative that we capture this villain. Ah, they're not listening. Ah, just look at them, scrounging at my feet. It pays to be wealthy. Please, leave this to me. You're wasting your time, little mermaid. I'm a master of monetary manipulation, and no one is easier to control than the coin-starved commoners. What's the meaning of this? Like, actually, though. Oh, cool fate. Why do you mock me? Well done, but why a fish? I saw one on the Namazu's strange contraption earlier. It was so cute, I just couldn't help stop thinking about it. I don't even like fish. I believe it's time that you accepted your fate. Yes, I think that's quite enough escape attempts for one day. You made it perfectly clear who the villain here is. Right, my second Gumi friends? You can't do this to me. I have a woman to coerce, a memorial banquet to consume. It seems that the matter is resolved at last. Shall we go in and inform the others? Alright, looks like it's gonna be one video. That's cool. There's only 3 instead of 5. And it's their 3rd iteration of doing this. I paid a visit to Shinomi. Thankfully she was able to place Tsukumo back where he belongs. The innkeep was kind enough to call a doctor, but it seems that no one has more than minor injuries. And apparently there's no better treatment for scrapes and bruises than the Bokaisen hot springs. I guess we'll just have to visit them again. Huh. Let's continue where we left off before we were so rudely interrupted, shall we? I'm so sorry, Alpa. What? You have absolutely nothing to apologize for. Not now. Not ever. It's my duty to protect you, and I failed utterly. Then it took so long to free you, and I couldn't even manage that without your help. Maybe not, but the rescue wouldn't have succeeded without your leadership. Not to mention how you saved me from being sliced in two. You may not be able to do everything yourself, but I couldn't ask for a better second in command. Alpha, I thank you. I'm grateful to everyone else too, of course. Yo, Kabuto, Gyoshin, Miz, and... Hold on, where's Miz at? Maybe he's still changing? Why? Ah! Never fear, it is Mizet. I discovered this floating in the sea after Naza's disappearance. How do I look, Rakesh? I'm throwing that back in the sea and you along with it. Just when you think he's learned something. If I may ask, Gyoshin, how did you know to find us at Karubo Maru? It was easy to spot you from above. I knew that stuffing that Mikoshi with all of the cloud's breath in our stores was the right choice, yes. My, how convenient. And I'm glad that you made it out safely too, Giori. Thanks to all of you, being trapped in a barrel was harrowing and fraught with splintery peril, yes. But it was worth it for a chance to enjoy these hot springs together. If you say so. What is that gem in your helmet? It is most unusual, quite unique. This is the soul of my dear friend Tsukumo. More valuable than any treasure in the whole world of the Ruby Sea. He is what Nizel stole from me, and I am truly grateful to you for helping me retrieve him. As Giori said, despite our tribulations, I feel fortunate to have met you all. I hope that we can continue to strengthen our friendship now that we're all safe and sound. Then please come by our festival, yes. We can strengthen our friendship and all our assorted limbs by carrying a Mikoshi together. And if you're ever in Eorzea, come to Alamigo. The Villadonia gatekeepers will give you a grand tour, and you can stay at the Castle Talon. Nice. I probably should have read that last bit, but thanks to your efforts, the Far East is in peace and whatnot. Damn it. Okay. It's in such a rush. Dude, thank you for joining me on this video, and I hope to see you in the next thing, whatever that might be. Peace.